about comic books, movies, growing up with Rokusuki. Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikinis and Transformer Lamborghinis. Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering Tales from the Crypt, back when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote
And all
scripts.
right here is no mystery, 'cause it's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Please note that any comments, jokes, questions, maybe anything that we say on the history of bad ideas is all in good fun. And remember, we insult everybody. Our thoughts, opinions, questions, anything else, actions that we do on the show do not reflect any of our employers, organizations, advertisers, or anyone else that is associated with the history of bad ideas. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just a joke. Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 335. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
Blake.
I'm Jim.
And I'm the intern.
Yay! We're all here. And is everyone excited?
No.
Oh,
For what?
I don't know. It's just fine. Jeez.
I'm not excited. Sorry.
Blake, I'm as excited as Jackie Daytona.
Jackie Daytona. That's right. That's a good reason to be excited.
You know, Jackie Daytona loves girls volleyball. Anyways, so.
Yeah, my Jackie Daytona outfit is
spoiler.
going to be a toothpick.
Yes, so we are here, History of Bad Ideas, episode 335, and after the long Memorial Day weekend, did everybody rest, relax, contemplate? No?
Sure.
Well, I was highly disappointed you wouldn't let me in your house for your Memorial Day party when I came over yesterday.
I did not. You only were invited if you believed in the corona.
And what makes you think I don't?
I know you, Jim. You think this is a big old hoax, don't you?
I'm not Blake's radio partner.
That's true. That is true. Is everybody still healthy? Everybody okay?
Yep. Yeah. Ever since I switched to
it's all
Modelo.
hope.
What was that, Blake?
Ever since I switched to Modelo
Oh, not Corona?
instead of Corona. That's right.
I still have Modelo in my bunker, a 12-pack, just in case we ran out of beer.
That'll be great when you actually open it.
I'm going to put it in the fridge soon, because I think the grocery stores are okay now. I don't think anybody's running out of anything, so I think we're okay. So, nobody was...
Are you like you have 7,000 rolls of toilet paper in your house now,
No,
Jason?
we're coming down on that. We're coming down. We only have 2 bottles of laundry detergent, so I was a little disappointed in that. My wife did go in the bunker to get one, so I wasn't too happy with that. So, but that's okay. It's okay. Toilet paper, I think we're around 45 to 50 rolls right now. So still not as high as I want it to be, but I'm okay with it right now. So.
Well, did you get the 2-ply twice as...
Oh, we got the good stuff.
There you go. All right. Remember, one of those rolls is just as good of 64 is just as good as 32. So you're okay.
Okay. Pardon me if anybody sees me on video on YouTube if I'm eating dinner because my son's baseball practice went late tonight. So I did not have a chance. So I'm having... Ooh. It's a California big boy from Frisch's.
Ooh.
I'm
So
not-
that means what, avocado on it?
Comes with a side of homelessness.
Yes, thank you, Blake. So no, anybody?
Are you coaching your son's team this year, Jason?
I'm assistant coach. I'm the business manager, basically, and an assistant coach. Why?
I was just seeing who to blame on why it runs over, so it's pretty much the coach's fault.
I'm not the manager. I did not want that role, so that's why. I was all ready to be gone, and the manager's like, hey, you want to do one more infield of where they're going to play on Saturday? Maybe. Not really. It's 7 o'clock. Can we get going? It's 95 degrees. No, let's do it. Okay, that's great. Thanks. So
first practice back, and you're already complaining. Awesome.
Well, when was it scheduled to go to?
7:30. So we did.
Oh, okay.
But then all the parents had to sign the COVID waivers. So we have two different COVID waivers, one for our team and one for the league that we're in, that were mandatory. The league one was mandatory.
Is that you can't sue us if your kid gets COVID, those waivers?
Bingo. That is correct. So, and everybody was fine with it. I think everybody just wants their kids out on the field.
Now, is it just COVID or is it any communicable disease?
I think it's actually any communicable disease, is if I remember correctly. So, but COVID is specifically listed as one, like a specific one. So, but we'll see. On a side note, it's really, really hot with a mask on. Having a mask on while you're coaching, whew, it's a little warm out there. So, but anyway, so we are. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Why do you have to wear a mask when you're coaching if nobody's around you?
Because the kids are around him.
There you go.
Are you next to the kids talking to them? Are
No.
you within 6 feet?
6 feet. But it's
Like when the kid's on first base and you're telling him to go or to stop.
You're allowed if you're coaching the bases, you're allowed to not have a mask on. But if you're in the dugout, well, what they're making the dugouts is spread out. It's not the official dugout. The kids have to wear masks, and we do. The coaches do too. Those are the league rules. But if you're in the field, you don't have to. So, but again, that could change. We just had more rules change today, so who knows? I mean, in 2 weeks, it's going to change again. So, if everybody's still partying up in the Ozarks like this weekend, we'll probably not be able to play baseball in a couple weeks. But, we'll see. We'll see what happened. Or maybe it's gone and the people in Ozarks are fine. So, not the TV show.
Well, they were all like in the pool outside where the sunlight and chlorine will kill the COVID, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. That's it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of, elderly people in nursing homes there in the pool either. So I think that should be all right.
It's true. So
they talked about with all the people who went on spring break and them coming back with all the influx that's going to hit people. That never happened.
Well, the one idea is that the people that got hit hardest was New Yorkers coming back from Florida, the retirees. But the spring break did not hit hard. That is correct, Jim.
Well, the New Yorkers, the reason it hit hard there is because the way they live and the way they travel. They're so close-knit and everything. The subway was probably the number one contributor to that.
They cleaned it for the first time in 118 years. Overnight.
Yeah, well, that and actually a lot of the COVID breakouts in the U.S., they were actually to trace the virus genetics genome back to New York City. So New York City, we could blame New York City for everything.
We do anyway, so.
Yeah.
Anything?
So, yeah, it either came through there or went through there or somebody went there and came back and they had it. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, how they can track, where it goes, just by breaking down the virus strains and tracking down the genomes of that stuff, man. It's pretty cool.
On a lighthearted note, Jeff, I finally saw you in person this weekend.
Yes. Jason let me walk into his backyard and sit 8 to 10 feet away.
It was about 6 to 8 feet.
He's quibbling over 2 feet. Jeez.
Wouldn't you?
So you were pressed up against the back fence, Jeff?
And you had to sit downwind from Jason, correct?
I didn't measure the wind pattern, so probably.
I was out of African swallows, Blake, so I couldn't tell. What the wind speed was.
You could throw up little tiny rocks in the air and see which way they go.
We did. We broke my window because of that, so it didn't work out well.
Just make sure you duck when get out of the way when they come back down.
That's right. But so Jeff came over. It was nice time. I even let you use the restroom at the house, Jeff.
I know he let me go inside.
And then get back out. Get the fuck
and then
back out.
kicked me out immediately.
Yes. Go get the restroom.
Sanitize everything.
I did.
I'm sure he did as soon as I left.
I did.
The Swiffer across the path I took to the door.
I had the Clorox wipes. I wiped down the bathroom. My wife's like, "You can do that in the morning." I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm just doing it right now. It's fine. It's fine."
We'll kill these germs now.
Yes. So, Jeff, my wife even said that was a big step for me to let somebody over. So I was happy.
It was a huge step. I couldn't believe you were actually doing it.
I'll be honest, I wasn't too keen on it, but my wife was in a really bad place on Friday. She was having a rough week, a rough day. We canceled our vacation officially. There was a couple other things going on. She's like, I just need some type of normalcy. I was like, well, we can invite them over. Let's do that. And she's like, are you okay with that? I was like, yes. For you, yes. Sure. But... anyways, anybody watch anything this weekend?
What did I watch?
The first episode of Snowpiercer.
How was that?
It was really good.
I got it recorded. Haven't watched it yet.
I'm the same way. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I was very, very interested in it. So,
did you see the movie?
I did.
And how was the movie?
The movie, I was not interested in it at all.
Okay.
To me, it wasn't very good at all.
Was that Chris Evans in that one?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
That movie, well, that story of Snowpiercer from the movie and the TV show has been in development hell for over a decade. Like, it's just been floundering everywhere. And I guess basically TNT took a flyer on it because it was going to other stations, to other networks. And basically, they took a flyer on it as like a summer show. They said, fine, we'll just throw it in the summer. And now with the COVID, that was one of the few releases out there, new releases. So it supposedly got good ratings in that. And they announced the second season already.
Well, so when they announced it that they were picking it up, and they filmed both seasons straight, two full seasons consecutively.
Oh, really?
So first and second season are second is either almost done or done.
Mm-hmm.
So they just got it all done. They wanted to at least get 2 seasons of it done. So
the one interesting thing is Snowpiercer, like you said, we'll film it. They'll get the CGI done. Batwoman went on hiatus for 3-4 weeks to get the final 3 episodes done, like the CGI effects. And I know the CGI there wasn't much on it. And they came back for it. And my question is, how is The Walking Dead not able to finish up their CGI? Everybody's at home for the last 3 months. Can you not finish this up? Fuck. Apple greenlit a Fraggle Rock series, a new one, and Jim Henson Studios did it all in a person's home. Like, they got the backgrounds and everything. If they're able to do a series from home, how can fucking Walking Dead can't finish a CGI?
Well, maybe if they made zombie puppets, it could work.
Good call.
maybe they're just trying to film like 5 or 6 different endings, like season finales, just to see which one will be better than what they already had.
Maybe just to choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Why do we do that? If you want Rick to come back, press 1. If you want Carl to say something, press 2. No.
Fuck Carl.
Who was worse, Carl or Lori?
Carl.
Carl.
God, Carl sucks so bad.
I think Lori would have been worse if she stayed on longer than 2 seasons. Blake, what was your choice? Which one's worse?
I didn't think Carl was all that bad. Lori was pretty annoying now. Carl's okay.
Anybody watch anything else this weekend?
Mystery Science Theater 3000's Space Mutiny.
Jeff and I have seen this.
Is this the potato one?
This is a space one with the railing deaths.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I had the choice of the MST3K Space Mutiny. There was the Rift Tracks Space Mutiny, and then there was the original Space Mutiny. You know, and I figured since being a fan of MST3K, I went that route.
Did you like it?
Oh my God, it was so horrible. It was so bad. It was funny, especially with the 3K jokes that go with it. I mean, and it's pretty funny. They even kill off one character, and then the next cutscene, she's back working at her desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was just so horrible. It was
Explain
so bad.
what Space Mutiny was, though, real quick, for the listeners, so they know what you're talking about.
So what was it? Late 1980s. I wouldn't even call this a B movie sci-fi. It was like a D movie sci-fi, and it was horrible. It was basically made in an abandoned warehouse with cheap props, and I honestly believe everybody should watch it just for the pure sake of entertainment of how bad it was.
The main.
I can't even believe people were in this movie and there was money spent on it, and they actually made this film. I mean, it was like intentionally made. I mean, that's how I'm just dumbfounded. It's
the main vehicles in it were floor cleaners, like the giant commercial floor cleaners that you used in Kroger's or grocery stores, and they basically put a cover on them and made them sit in it, and that was what the main.
It was horrible. It was so bad.
And Reb Brown is the star of the movie, and he is famous for Captain America, the first two Captain Americas, the original ones from the early 80s. Captain America.
They made two of those?
Yes.
I knew they did one.
The first one is god-awful. Second one is even worse. It's just horrible.
Yeah, he even tries to act well in this, and even his overacting is just laughably horrible.
It is. That is probably the Mystery Science Theater that I've watched the most on repeat viewing, and it is hilarious.
It is hilarious, and the fact that even the disco on the ship is hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. And I can't believe they ripped sci-fi scenes from Battlestar Galactica for the film.
Yes.
How did they get away with that?
I don't know. Because I think the movie was so low budget that nobody even cared about it. It never did anything at the theaters. So, real quick, because we have HBO Max is doing the Snyder Cut for Superman or in Justice League or whatever the fuck that it was. Rumor has it, I think we actually have. Hold on, I think we have Brad from the Cinema Guys calling in right now. He wanted to.
I mean, yay, Brad, but boo, Snyder Cut.
He wanted.
Are we talking Snyder Cut?
Yeah, we're going to talk to Snyder Cut and how awful it is.
Okay, you can call me back in about 45 minutes then.
Are they going to put Superman's mustache on?
Brad,
Snyder Cut.
Brad, welcome to the History of Bad Ideas. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. We're okay.
I'm excited to be talking about this amazing movie we're going to be getting next year.
Wonder Woman? Tenet?
No, that's this year.
Tenet?
Space Mutiny 2?
Space Mutiny 2.
New Mutants, maybe?
I so want it, but let's be honest, we're never going to get it.
It's not coming.
Never going to get it. Never going to get it.
So HBO Max announced this week that they are doing the Green Lantern TV series. I'm excited about that. Let's talk of that. Is that what you called in for, Brad?
I am excited about that. Are they going to bring Ryan Reynolds back?
No. He's now Deadpool. He ignores his Green Lantern time.
As long as they don't CG the mask and the suit, and actually, I mean, it has the potential to be really good.
I just want Kyle Rayner. That's all I want. Give me Kyle Rayner.
That'll work.
Jon Stewart, not the comedian, the Green Lantern. and I'm fine with that. Jeff, you want Guy Gardner, don't you?
Not necessarily.
I was kidding. Nobody wants Guy Gardner. Nobody.
I like him as a character, but more as a secondary character, not the main character.
Can we just get Hal Jordan and do the Blackest Night storyline?
Done.
Have him go crazy.
Well, I think they actually need to introduce what the Green Lantern Corps is before you start.
I just want to jump right in.
This isn't the Bruce Wayne backstory that we need to tell over and over again. Did you know Bruce Wayne's parents were killed? Just amazing.
What?
Yeah. So, Brad, you're on the line here because you said you wanted to jump on this week to talk the Rob Schneider cut of Justice League.
Rob Schneider cut, yes.
And how he's going to be the next Superman. So go ahead and talk. What makes you excited about the Rob Schneider cut, please?
I mean, I'm excited for them to be fighting Steppenwolf and him in the background being like, "You can do it."
That would be amazing. I would watch that. I would watch that.
So he's cheering on the bad guys in the movie.
There you go. A twist. A little twist to it. That's what the 20 to 30 million is going to go to is the visual effects to put him in the movie.
So HBO Max has given Zack Snyder $20 million, or Scott Snyder. Who is this? Zack Snyder? Zack Snyder. $20 million to finish his horrible dream of a Justice League movie, and I'm excited because when Jeff and I watched this film, the thing we kept saying was more Steppenwolf. That's what we need as a bad CGI character. We need more of it.
They said Darkseid's going to be in it.
He's going to be
Darkseid. Martian Manhunter was going to have a little cameo, but I don't think we're actually going to see him as Martian Manhunter, though.
What the fuck's the point? I could be Martian Manhunter.
You could be. Maybe
True.
Rob Schneider is Martian Manhunter.
Maybe Rob Schneider is.
Hell, Brian over there. Hey, Brian, turn into Martian Manhunter. Oh, there you go. You're good.
Hey,
Look, I'm Superman. I'm Clark Kent. I'm Superman.
Zack Snyder had said that only about 1/4 of what we saw was what he shot. So hopefully it's a completely different movie, but I'm excited. You know I am because I text you like almost every other day about the Snyder cut. And when they announced it the other day, I about lost it.
Oh, my God.
Zack Snyder admits that he shouldn't have gotten the directorial credit for the movie.
Yes, because it wasn't really his film in the end.
But everybody bitches about, all the fanboys bitch about what he did in the other films. Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, all that crap. But yet every fanboy is now excited about the Justice League extended cut. No, it doesn't make sense. He's a horrible director. He is.
Because it's a chance to complete this trilogy of amazingness.
He's not a horrible director. He just doesn't understand the DC characters and is a terrible writer of them.
Honestly, what he's good at in Man of Steel and especially Batman v Superman, he is good at setting up the panels or covers from books that and then going from there. You're like, oh, I know what that is, and then it moves on to get you excited for a second, and then
that's what 300 was.
Yes, yeah,
just a whole bunch of shots of.
If they were saying I'm making a Sucker Punch sequel, I would rather watch that than a Justice League extended cut. That's how bad it is.
The 3 hour and 15-minute Justice League cut.
Sure. You know what? I'll watch the.
They're saying it's going to go over 4 hours now, aren't they?
That's the rumor is that it could get extended to 4 hours.
Yeah. Which it's like you can't compare what is going to come out with what would have been because they were only going to give him a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
So whatever he comes out with is not going. You can't he should have done it in the first place because
not allowed. They're saying he's not allowed to do any reshoots, but he can do ADR, so he can record new dialogue, but he can't bring the actors in and build sets and reshoot a bunch of stuff. So he's got to go with what he's already shot, and then
a lot of
the VFX and
FX, yeah.
At this point, I don't even care. Sure, go ahead and do it.
Apparently, they've been working on doing this since like last fall. It's legality reasons trying to get all the Lego mumbo jumbo in place. They were hoping to get it before Max released.
Could he finish the season finale CGI of Walking Dead first for us? Because if he's doing CGI again for a Justice League film that's a couple years old, I'm sure he can help out on The Walking Dead. Please, so we can get this for sometime this year.
But we won't have horrible mustache removal. Justice League.
That's what Blake wants. Blake, what do you want for Superman?
Well,
mustache.
That's all we want.
Yeah, instead of doing mustache removal, I want them to add a mustache in on every scene that he didn't have a mustache.
I want everyone to have a mustache in it. Everyone. That's it.
Everyone. Wonder Woman, mustache.
Steppenwolf,
She'll have a
mustache.
big handlebar.
I want Steppenwolf with mutton chops. That's all I want. I want big old mutton chops on him.
But I'm honestly, I don't know if I'm more excited for to finally see it, because I've been wanting to see it. I'm one of those fanboys. But I also want to hear Junkie XL's score that he did for the entire movie, and it got scrapped because Joss Whedon came in and said, "We want Danny Elfman."
Well, everyone wants Danny Elfman. Come on.
I want
Magic Carpet Ride.
Yes.
Done.
And I want the Randy Newman Justice League soundtrack. That's all I want. Jeff, give me the song. Give me the song.
Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. You got a friend in me, Batman.
I want Steppenwolf singing this.
Wait, you've got the best part, Jeff. Right foot, left foot, Martha, Batman, Superman.
Why did you say Martha?
BVS should have had that. As soon as they had to Martha, it should have just started slowly playing in the background. You got a friend in me.
I would have watched
All right,
that.
now somebody go make that happen.
And did you? I don't know if you probably didn't watch any of his commentary that he did for Man of Steel when he announced this.
No.
But he stated that the Doomsday that's in Batman v Superman is not Doomsday. Doomsday actually destroyed Krypton in Man of Steel.
Yes. Okay.
Because we saw that happen. It wasn't the planet's core exploding from the inside.
What about the Krypton on the Sci-Fi Channel? Krypton. Who blew up that one? Is that the same one? Is that all connected?
Maybe it's all. Maybe it's the. They don't call it the multiverse in DC. What do they call it?
52.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, they call it like the different Earths, but I don't know what they call it.
So we don't alienate 90% of our listeners here. Give us the top 5 reasons why you're excited about this Rob Schneider, Zack Snyder, Scott Snyder Justice League cut.
The top 5. Well, one, I'm excited to see his version of the film because he unfortunately had to step away because of tragic reasons. I want to see what he was intended.
Okay.
I really enjoy Zack Snyder's films.
Mm-hmm.
I love Watchmen. I love his Dawn of the Dead. I even like Sucker Punch and 300. I mean, he's got a unique style, in my opinion.
Dawn of the Dead was better than the original. I actually like Dawn of the Dead.
It was good.
Well, I like the 4 movies you mentioned. I like those. I just don't like his DC movies.
I mean, Dawn of the Dead was also written by James Gunn, so we kind of got a combo there.
Ooh.
Okay. So you got 3 left, and you're really stretching. I want to know. Come on.
We're not going to have to go through that lip mustache removal, although, some people just want it there.
Blake.
That will go away.
Can we just paint his lip so it looks like we removed the mustache, even though we didn't?
Darkseid. We got to see Darkseid. I'm curious what his version of Darkseid was, although I hated his version of Doomsday, but we won't go into that. Although it's not Doomsday. We will say, quotes, Doomsday.
God. Okay, what's your number 5?
I'm just a fanboy. Ultimately, I'm a fanboy. I want to see it. I enjoy Man of Steel.
Fit a Witcher reference in there, too.
After they defeat Steppenwolf, hopefully he goes, toss a coin to your Witcher. The last line as Steppenwolf is dying, he should say that.
There you go.
Or flip a coin at him.
Worst segment ever.
I'm a DC fanboy, true and true, and I actually enjoy their. I can even find positivity in Suicide Squad, even though it's not that good.
Speaking of that, did you see that they're talking about doing the air cut of Suicide Squad?
Oh Lord!
Then AT&T replied back to David Ayer and was like, one thing at a time.
Are we doing the extended cut of what is that? Last Jedi, or what's the other one? Rise of Skywalker. Is that next too?
Skywalker. Give me the JJ cut.
Whatever. I don't even care anymore. Put the movie out. People get on George Lucas for, fucking up all of his Star Wars films and reshooting them, but yet now everybody's releasing these cuts. It's the same crap. Oh, good thing we added Windows to Cloud City, Lucas. Thanks.
Actually, that was pretty cool.
Hey, that was okay. What's that, Brad?
They'll call it the McClunky cut.
Anyways, thanks, Brad. Do you want to sit in with us for the rest of the show? We got nothing going on.
I need to step back and put the kids to bed. I just wanted to come in and gush because I didn't want you guys just to bash Justice League. It needed somebody to come on. Now you can bash on it after I leave.
Okay, thank you.
You know what I think? I think before we post this up on YouTube, we need to digitally remove his mustache for his entire Justice League segment.
I'm just going to put... Who plays Superman? Who's the guy? Jim Caviezel?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put Henry Cavill's mouth and chin on Brad's face right now, and that's going to be it.
Pouty lip.
Yes.
Puffy lip has.
I like that idea, Blake. Change approved. Change approved. Well, if you ever get bored again, come on over, Brad. You can jump on in later on in the show. So we got a late start today because of me. So if you get bored, come on over and your kids go to bed.
Always because of you.
Yes. So
thank you, guys.
Thanks, Brad. Have a good night.
I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Tell the cinema persons we said hi.
I will.
Jim, you can come back on now. No, Jim doesn't want to. Okay. That was Brad, Cinema Guys podcast. Don't hold it against him for the Snyder Cut. We did have a Twitter poll of the week. We had, what is the best war film? And this got people riled up. They were saying that we left off a lot of movies. It's like Twitter only gives us 4 votes, 4 selections. So calm down. Don't get after Intern Hackney. Leave him alone. I got you back, Brian. We have Saving Private Ryan, 1917, Black Hawk Down, and The Thin Red Line. I added Black Hawk Down because that's the only war movie I really enjoy. So,
because it's your favorite.
Yeah. In last place, 5% of the vote, The Thin Red Line.
That's what I voted for.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's what I voted for, too. It has Jim Caviezel in it, since you've already butchered his name today.
Henry Cavill? Let's see. Tied for second and third is 15% of the vote each. 1917 and Black Hawk Down, meaning Saving Private Ryan got 65% of the vote. We had over 200 votes on this one, so obviously the majority is Saving Private Ryan liked it. So they like that. So, Blake, what's your favorite one?
Out of these 4, Saving Private Ryan.
Okay. Out of any of them.
I've got a lot of war movies. There's a lot of old ones here. I would have put on like the Big Red One, which is a really good movie. And then you're right. And it's like, best war film for showing the realistic terror and fear and camaraderie ship that comes out of war. I think Saving Private Ryan is probably the best. I mean, if you really think about an honor that Spielberg gave to the D-Day invaders, I mean, just just know for the fact that if you're in the first couple waves, that you're basically just, you're bullet fodder. You're going to be there to catch bullets so the guys behind you can make it. I mean, that's pretty fucking terrifying if you think about it.
Yeah, but then they went ahead and added a storyline after the opening scene.
Yeah, after the 30-minute D-Day opening scene, you're like, oh, what's the rest of the story? Oh, okay.
The cinema guys had the big red one was their favorite.
See, yeah, I mean that was a good one. I like that too. And, the other one I liked was Patton, and Patton was really good. I'm a big fan of Patton, not necessarily his leadership style, but he's just a very interesting character in American history. And as a matter of fact, I'm missing Ulysses S. Grant on the History Channel. So luckily I've been DVRing that, and so I can watch it all in one sit down too. So
did you get your VCR timer set correctly for that show? Did you get it right?
Yeah, if you're referring to my DVR, yes,
okay,
that's correct.
I didn't know what you were using, VCR or DVR, which one?
Yes.
Sexy Nick Albright had Avengers Infinity War as his favorite war movie. I don't think I mean, I guess it counts, but...
it's in the title, Jason.
My bad. Doug had Kelly's Heroes. He had Avatar, the Aliens versus Humans.
Terrible war movie.
Duty Funkster had Apocalypse Now, The Longest Day, Waterloo, and Platoon. I guess you've never heard of these. And I said, I guess I couldn't add 8 of them to the poll.
Yeah, Apocalypse Now, that for a Vietnam War movie based on a book that was not about Vietnam War.
Based on a book that had nothing to do with Vietnam.
That's right.
Jordan Martin. Sorry,
Martin.
Thank you. I don't know. I just had a stroke. He had Kong Skull Island. That's a good one. I like that one.
Oh my God.
Was that a war movie?
Yes.
Did they go to war?
Yeah, sure. Hacksaw Ridge was another one. A Bridge Too Far. Let's see here.
I was shocked that Jeff didn't come in and say War Games.
Oh. Somebody had Starship Troopers.
Oh.
And then awesome. Jim, didn't you see Fury? Is that the one you saw, or is that Blake? Or Brian?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Brian saw it.
I haven't seen it. No, I put Kingdom of Heaven. Jim put 300.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kingdom of Heaven was a good one, too.
Somebody put Pearl Harbor.
What is Jerusalem worth? Nothing.
I prefer my war movies without guns, so...
Kind of like your alien movies
what
without
makes
guns.
Kingdom of Heaven even better? Kingdom of Heaven, watch the director's cut.
Yeah.
If you have 6 hours, it's great.
6 hours.
Somebody did list Pearl Harbor. I can't list anything with Michael Bay in it. I can't. Did anyone think Battleship? That might be a good one. I'm not
even sure Pearl Harbor counts as a war movie, though. Isn't that Isn't that like a romantic comedy?
Oh, I've never seen it. I
like Das Boot.
I don't think
Boot was pretty good.
Like comedy, but
well, I laughed
at how bad it was. Oh yeah, I forgot about Das Boot. Das Boot.
Yeah.
You 571
867
5389.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be really tough. You can have like your own 64 war movie playoff bracket.
And
like
no one
March
even said
Madness.
Wonder Woman, did they?
Wonder Woman. What about Captain America: First Avenger? That could be up there.
Avengers, yeah.
Could be.
Blake,
And you scoffed at Infinity War.
I don't know.
War at the title. Come on.
I know it's like Step Up 2. Blake,
Streets.
The Hurt Locker.
How about Stripes? Is that a war movie?
Yeah,
it's a pretend war movie.
Still counts.
War Games.
Why'd you sign up, son? I didn't want to be drafted.
That's right. Welcome to the podcast where we just randomly name war movies for 20 minutes.
It's either this or we're going to go into laundry talk. Which one do you want to do next?
Oh, God.
Charlie Wilson's War?
Oh, God.
The War of the Worlds.
War of the
War of
Roses?
the Roses?
War of the Roses, Jinx. Damn it. A movie that nobody wins at.
That was a good movie.
So, Blake, why don't you do some listener feedback for us?
So some listener feedback brought to you by Cannibal Rats. There you go. You thought murder hornets were going to be bad. Now we're going to have to deal with cannibal rats.
Was that like the camel gerbils we talked about last week?
No, this is this is the next thing. The CDC is given warning to ferocious carnivorous rats attacking people because of the lack of garbage generated during the shutdown. So they're starving. So now you're gonna have to go out and you're gonna have to face viruses. You're gonna have to face murder hornets, and now you're gonna have to face carnivorous rats. Sorry, I said cannibalism.
You said
okay. Carnivorous rats.
Title for the show: Cannibalistic Rats.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not?
They're both C words. Okay.
I know a couple of other C words I can say.
Ooh, deep Hobie reference.
Cookies?
Yes. All right, so go ahead. We'll start with our first listener. This guy, formerly known as
Doug.
Ape hands.
Number one fan.
Yes. That's right. Front lines virus hero.
That's right.
Pelosi endorses Biden. What are some more shocking headlines you have seen? Carnivorous rats.
There you go. Jim, you got any shocking headlines you've seen recently?
No, because nothing surprises me anymore.
Jim, should we call someone? You seem like you're down over there. Do you need a hug?
Not from you.
Well, I wasn't
Give me
offering.
COVID because you had people over your house.
Okay, I had two people. Calm down.
Both of which weren't you.
Yeah. I've given up on headlines because I think everything is just awful right now. I've given up. There could be aliens that show up, and I wouldn't care.
I've seen some really good, unbelievable headlines, but that's because they were from The Onion.
John Cena gave a kid cancer. That was one of the worst. That was a shocking headline. That was a shocking headline.
Yes. Surprises Make-A-Wish kid with cancer.
You might want to check your your headlines there, New York Post. Brian, you seen anything shocking? Any headlines?
Not really.
Okay. Anything with Kenneth Copeland?
I was blocked, so he blocked me. So
Poor
Did you get your burgers too?
did he what?
Block your burners?
No, not yet. But actually, in breaking news, my burner account now becomes my primary account because I've been suspended again from Twitter.
You've been suspended.
Apparently, I did. Going back to calling Mr. Cowherd a stupid idiot moron about a month, 2 months back. I just got the email that those tweets had been reported and I had been suspended for abusive threats towards.
That's not a threat.
It's just true.
Abuse and harassment. I'm sorry. I have engaged in targeted harassment of someone or inciting other people to do so.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't that why you were suspended already?
Yes. I guess. Go ahead.
I just said, are you being suspended for the same comments, or did you make new comments since then?
Yeah, I've made new comments.
Oh, okay.
Many new comments. But it's been, I mean, all of the tweets, like they show me the 5 tweets that got reported, and they're all over a month ago. But I guess somehow somebody went back and reported them now, so I got suspended again.
So what were the 5 tweets? Read them to us.
Let's see.
And who was this to?
Colin
Cowherd.
The stupid idiot moron Colin Cowherd.
Is he on ESPN still?
Fox.
Okay. Fox Sports.
It seems perfectly normal for a stupid idiot moron like Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd is a stupid idiot moron. The last one was just recent, actually, because this from last week when Doug had my back, stood up for me with Pastor Kenneth. I said, thanks, Doug, and thanks to another stupid idiot moron, Colin Cowherd, I have a burner account I can follow Pastor Kenneth from.
Well, not only did we have Brad as a surprise guest, we have Colin on the show now. Come on in, Colin.
No,
he's not.
I really hope he comes on so I can really have a word with him because he is horrible. He's a horrible
stupid idiot or moron.
Did you?
All of them.
Hyphenated. It's all one word.
Did you guys know that Bengals traded Joe Burrows, or the number 1 draft pick? Did you know that? Colin did. He was going to trade them. He was trading it. He knew it. It worked out well. He was correct. Do you think you and Colin, if you just sat down in a room, that might help?
I'd punch him in the throat.
Okay. Well then. Okay.
Or I'd find out who runs his Twitter account so I could punch them in the face.
Doug, I hope that answered your question. The shocking headlines. Blake, what else do we got?
All right, so my recommended congressional law that everybody who has a Twitter account has to use their real name and address probably wouldn't be a good idea for Brian Hackney. All right, so
my name's on my Twitter account.
That's true. All right, from Nisi, regarding Blake's story about Tinkerbell at Disney World last week, I have my own personal story. Disney did interview at my high school and were auditioning quote-unquote cast members. I was this close to taking the Tinkerbell role. I was 17, almost 18, but my parents refused to sign the release. By the time I turned 18, I was married in Indiana.
You know what? First off, that last line sounded like it should be the title of the show, Married in Indiana.
I turned 18, I was married in Indiana.
Coming to Fox next year, Married in Indiana. She's 18, he's 19, and these crazy lovebirds.
I love you, Nisi, and all, and I don't know your parents personally, but they were willing to sign off on you getting married before you were 18, but not working for Disney?
I think she turned 18 and then got married.
She said by the time she turned 18, she was married.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Never mind.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Nisi. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Bigger question, Brian.
Well, it was the release because of the high wire act around the castle, right?
Yeah, you know what?
Well, yeah, because they were going to die if they
the trapeze act.
As we talked about last week, Disney World has gone through 897,000 Tinkerbell actors played Tinkerbell. Lots of death. Lots of death. And it's only been going on for 10 years. Brian,
that's why they have to pay them cash, because they can't get the insurance.
Brian, as the only person that has been sold to Disney by a parent here, how does this strike you? How has working for Disney worked out for you?
It worked well. Specifically, it worked out well for me because I didn't fit the build for Tinkerbell, so I didn't have to worry about dying. Although being trapped in a tiny world was pretty rough.
It's a small world.
It's a tiny world.
So when you have the build of Eeyore, did that depress you that you had to pretend that you were depressed every day when you walked around Disney World?
No, it was real.
Oh, okay. It was.
There was
it was
no
real.
pretending that depression at all.
Jim and Brian, do you guys need to talk to somebody tonight? Because I feel like you guys are okay.
Disney World, one of the most depressing places ever on Earth.
The most depressing place on earth. Title for the show.
Oh, God. The next one is a good one. It's very relevant to what Brad came on the show with. Blake, what is that one?
This one is
I'm
from,
gone.
No,
this is from this was from Brian Ow. Since HBO Max is releasing the Justice League Snyder Cut, do you think
Yay.
Apache Chief will be in it? If not, how would you write him into it?
Jeff,
He should be in it.
Jeff, you're a big Apache Chief fan. Tell
He
people
was the
what
best super friend ever.
what was his power.
He grew big.
That's right.
He would say the secret word, a neck choke, and grow like 20 times his regular size.
He was really good at growing big and putting stuff on the rooftops for the Justice League, so that was nice.
Yes. I would like to see the scene where they're going around recruiting people, or they go recruit Apache Chief. And then at the very end, like they're fighting Steppenwolf, and all of a sudden just a giant hand to come in and grab him and rip him apart.
You know what?
Apache Chief finally showed up.
That is the Snyder cut. Darkseid shows up. I'm this big bad villain, and Apache Chief just steps on him. That's it. That's the 5 minutes there. Done.
Giant foot like Monty Python, the beginning of Monty Python.
I guess we're not getting a Justice League 2 with Darkseid. Thank you, Apache Chief.
If you're going to put Apache Chief in, you're going to, I know how you can bring him into the story.
How's that?
A casino.
Oh, so now we're at the racist portion of the show.
I thought he actually wanted to stay away, but then Darkseid littered, and then that just made it too much.
And then he just started crying. Yeah. Darkseid took over Land O'Lakes butter. He's going to keep the female Native American lady on the cover, on the packaging.
Anyway, send your complaints to Brian at Graphic Novice, intern Brian.
There you go.
Hey, Brian, did you get any applications for a new intern yet? To replace
I got zero.
Huh.
Nobody's interested.
They're not clamoring and lining up?
No.
Well, they are, but he
They are. He's just throwing them all away. He's not telling us.
No, trust me. If I even got one person that said I'm remotely interested in learning about how miserable of a job that is, I would jump at it in a heartbeat.
You're like the familiar on What We Do in the Shadows. Guillermo.
Only if he starts killing other podcasts.
He has. Graphic Novice, gone. Who the what now? Gone. Annalise and Neil from Dark Angels Pretty Feet. A couple weeks. He just wounded them.
Gone and resurrected.
Yes. Besotted Geek, are they still around? Yeah, they're still around. Okay, nobody wants to fight them. 365 Flicks Podcast, gone.
Danger Entertainment.
Dead.
The whole network. Oh.
Called the Intern Bump, guys.
The Musings Network, gone.
That was even before he showed up. Oh.
Have you been killing comic conventions too? Is that why there's only one at the Cincinnati Comic Expo?
Hey, I sent in a prayer request to Pastor Kenneth to get rid of the COVID so we can make sure that we're good for September.
11th through 13th, Cincinnati Comic Expo, Duke Energy Convention Center. We'll all be there. Get your tickets, Cincinnati ComicExpo.com. Nice job, Brian.
Yeah, thanks.
What else we got, Blake?
From Dev, the big Psy guy. Says, how many strippers are you going to buy with your government handouts once COVID-19 is cleared up?
I didn't know I didn't know we were allowed to buy and sell people.
No, we can rent strippers. I don't think we can buy them.
Hey, Jim.
Since when did this turn into a human trafficking podcast?
Hey, Jim. Have you seen?
I was thinking, if I got to buy one, why would I have to buy more than one?
Jim, have you seen the world we live in? Hell, Doug's selling Brian to Disney. You're fine. Just go ahead and buy and sell people. It's fine. It's no big deal. You're fine. So how many are you buying, Jim?
Well, I am going to send Falls a Lot over to Jason's house. You don't know her, but a couple of our friends do, and you'll really be happy with that one.
Okay. Okay.
Her nickname is Falls a Lot. I'm sure you'll really be happy with that stripper.
Does she fall off the stripper pole a lot?
She falls off her shoes.
Yeah. She almost fell off the stage a few times, and then kind of stumbled down the stairs. And then when she walked like behind us, and when she got behind one of our other friends, she just absolutely ate it and just wiped out.
I've seen a dancer. I call her a dancer at a gentleman's club. She was twirling and she smacked her head hard against the speaker box that was above the stripper stage, and went straight down. And the bodyguard or bouncer had to literally pick her up because she wasn't moving too well. The good
We
news,
can't stop the show.
The show must go on.
she was on a side stage, Jeff. She wasn't that popular. It's fine.
That's why you were watching then.
Why not?
Well, he
Brian,
thinks he might have a shot with the side stage.
Exactly.
Brian.
Yeah, but she really liked his friend Rob.
No. Moving on. Brian, I was trying to just give good vibes to everyone there. There was 3 stages. You don't want someone to look that bad. So everyone's trying.
You don't give anybody good vibes at a strip club when you walk in wearing sweatpants, Jason.
And nothing else.
You're supposed to wear pants.
Just sweatpants. They sell them out front.
Jeff wasn't there because they didn't have all-you-can-eat pizza. So that was the reason Jeff wasn't
It
there.
wasn't all you can eat.
They ran out.
They wouldn't limit you.
The strippers aren't limited, but the pizza is. Blake,
That sounds like a great promotional slogan.
Blake, in your military career, you've never visited any of these places, have you?
Never.
Good job.
I
Good
only
man.
would go to confession on Sundays.
Good man. Is that what the name of the club was called? Confessions?
Confessions.
No, it's called Bible study.
The missionary place. Oh, good times.
So, yeah, what is the best song that you had a lap dance to?
You mean worst?
Yeah.
I was just watching some people playing Quiplash on Jackbox, and the question was the worst song to have a lap dance to.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, that's Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
True story.
True story.
Wow.
Okay, moving on. That's your stripper talk.
But at least it was a BOGO song, so there were 2 of them.
Mary Had a Little Lamb was next.
Jingle Bells was next.
I think it was some other Christmas song, yeah.
I saw Mommy Kissing Santa.
All ye faithful.
We
Come
went the
on,
night
you faithful.
that night.
I have no words. Anyways, Blake, what else?
You're going to continue talking.
Yes, Blake, what else you got?
I say. From Reggie. He says, you can only listen to 5 album CDs or tapes while in quarantine. Said, what are your 5? I mean, this is like a top 5 question.
It is like a top 5
It
question.
is probably top 5. Would you like to do this next week for our top 5?
I think we've done it before, haven't we?
I feel like we just did this, like a month ago.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody list 1, and we'll have a top 5 that way.
Well, I'm about to say.
I wrote down 5.
Well, my answer is the mixtape I made with all my favorite songs.
Good call. Good call. Good call. Blake?
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, my wedding album. Sure.
Okay, now you guys just all suck. Okay, forget it. Moving on. We get a
What's
new
your answer, Jason?
What?
What's your answer? Garth Brooks, right?
Maybe. I got that shirt on. No, it would be Bon Jovi. Any one of their CDs. I'm good with that. So, any Bon Jovi CD. That could be my top 5, to be honest with you. I'm good with that. Oh, you know what?
5 different Bon Jovis.
4 of them. And then my 5th one would be the Crow soundtrack. The Crow soundtrack is damn good. So
yes, it is.
I was going to say Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
Oh, that is a good one.
It's a really good one.
What else we got?
I don't know, Jay. If you're going your Bon Jovi route, don't you also have to choose the soundtrack to
no
Young Guns 2?
No.
But that's the best John Bon Jovi song out there.
No. Wanted Dead or Alive is actually one of my least favorite ones. So, Blake, what else do we got? Wrap this sucker up.
Professor number 1 and Doctor number 1 says, what will we do now on our weekends? IKEA reminds customers not to pleasure themselves in stores after a viral video in IKEA store in China is released.
Wow.
So apparently you're not supposed to do that in IKEA?
No.
Well, apparently you can make an entire film in IKEA and they don't know. I think this was a self-pleasuring video as well.
How would you
Well,
like...
I mean...
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the word is at IKEA, when you go in there, sometimes you get like days or months. So they might not be able to find you making your videos.
How would you like to be the HR rep in the meeting going, well, store managers, we got to have a public service announcement about masturbating in the IKEAs. Please let everybody know not to do that. What section would they be masturbating in, too? There's nothing really sexy about IKEA. Would it be the kitchen section? Bedroom? Blake?
It would be in the
couches.
It would be in the do-it-yourself section.
That's why you're the third. That's why you're the third best intern, Brian. Look at you go. Look at you.
I'm learning.
That's right, Jeff. Why don't you give me an intro for News of the Geek?
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
Okay. We already talked about HBO and DC and that, so fuck that. I don't really care anymore. And I'm trying to keep Jim insane over there. See, Jim? See what I do for you? Let's see. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN's celebration of National Streaming Day, which I guess that was a day last week, announced that the new original series Muppets Now will premiere July 31st on the Disney Plus network. Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and the gang are joined in the fun by sharing their unique spin on the series' original key art. And you can view that's right here. That does help. Muppets Now is the Muppets Studios' first original series for Disney Plus. It's a 6-episode first season. Scooter rushes to make his delivery deadlines and upload the brand new Muppet series for streaming. They are due now, and he'll need to navigate whatever obstacle, distractions, and complications the rest of the Muppet gang throws at him. So I guess they're filming a series, and Scooter's in charge of uploading it, and that's basically the plot of the 6 episodes. So there you go.
I'd rather just watch the Muppets show from 2 years ago.
People online do not like that Muppet show from 2 years ago that was on ABC.
People online are wrong.
People online suck.
They're stupid idiots. Is that what they are?
Morons.
Morons. Sorry, my bad.
Idiot morons.
They're Sims.
The Muppets.
95% of people are bots on Twitter. and Facebook.
Yes.
Yes.
Jim, I think you need a hug over there. I'm going to send Jeff over to give you a hug, bud. Okay? You need talk?
Like you have the power to send me over.
Well, I try. That makes an effort, at least. Yeah, so the Muppets, they said they're trying, Disney Plus, or Disney, owns the Muppets, and they're basically trying to do everything in its power to get them popular again. Unfortunately, Apple has Fraggle Rock, which I talked about earlier, so I guess the Fraggle Rock is not included in the Muppets? I'm not sure about that. So,
Or they signed a development deal at some point.
yeah. So, let's see here. Christopher Nolan is keen for Tenet to arrive in theaters on July 17th. But there's been a lot of conflicting stories about whether it will actually be possible. You've heard that on Hobie. Right now, it's looking highly unlikely that theaters in major markets like New York and L.A. won't be open by then. That alone could result in Warner Brothers pushing the movie to later in 2020 or 2021 even, along with the New Mutants. That might not sound like the end of the world, but a report from the Washington Post points to the decision being something which could give major ramifications for the film industry. An anonymous? Blake, Jeff, help me out there. Take a drink.
Anonymous? Is that what you're trying to
Yes.
say? Oh, I'm like, I don't know if I can help you out. I don't know what word you're trying to go with.
Studio
Phenomenal.
executive weighed in the fall of Tenet potentially being delayed and believed that such a move could halt any theatrical releases until Christmas. Quote, if Tenet doesn't come out or doesn't succeed, every other company goes home. It's no movies until Christmas. He's the Grinch.
No movies for you.
It's why I say fuck New York and fuck LA. They get first screenings. They come out a week before everybody else all the time. But if other movies going to come out someplace else, scrap the entire thing. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't rent here anymore.
Yeah. Bring out Tenet, open in the Ozarks first, and then you'll see it do good.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of people there seeing it.
Real quick, speaking of Ozark, Jim, have you watched Ozark? You're the one that's...
Yes.
Okay. Do you like it a lot?
Yes, I'm in the third season. I haven't finished it, but
Okay.
I love.
You like it, Brian?
We've seen all three
Brian,
seasons. Yeah.
My wife and I just started. We're on episode 7 or 8, and we are really digging it. It's a great series, and
Yep,
it
it is.
messed up.
Did they kill the dog yet?
What?
Did they kill the dog yet?
No. What dog?
Oh. Never mind.
What the hell are you talking about, Jeff?
he hasn't seen it.
You bastard! You haven't even seen it, you bastard.
It's all about 6 episodes, not in order or all in the same season, but
It's a good show, though. We're hooked on it, so hopefully by this time next week we'll be up into through season 2. So, going back to the movies, they said Disney CEO Bob Chapek has indicated that the studio is going to use Tenet to help them decide what to do about Mulan, and possibility that some video-on-demand releases will happen as a result of this. The rumor was that Mulan may eventually hit video-on-demand, like they did with Onward, that you can rent it for $20, and then 2 months later or 2 weeks later, who knows, it will go on Disney+.
does that mean AMC won't show that movie either, or any Disney movie?
Right. That's right. We're not showing Mulan. It's not coming out in theaters. We're not showing it.
We're not showing any Disney movie. Good luck.
I think Mulan actually does go to video on demand. I really don't see it coming out. I personally don't know if Wonder Woman will even come out. But we'll see.
It'll
We've been
come
talking
out
about it.
sometime.
Hopefully.
I think Wonder Woman's one they'll wait to release in the theater. I don't think they will.
Do video on
We'll throw
demand.
it video on demand.
Okay. So, Tenet, July 17th is getting closer and closer. So, Jim's going to be first in line for it because it's a movie in the theaters. So.
Yes.
Jeff, speaking of movies, you got the box office news that I just sent you. We got a box office report for May.
Box office report for the weekend of May 22nd through the 24th. Number 1, with $216,288. The Wretched stays at the top of the charts.
Total gross, I got you, Jeff. Sorry, $578,897.
It is actually up this week from the previous week, which is pretty impressive for like a movie in its fourth week to be going up in dollars. But that's what happens when there's a lockdown.
That's right.
Number two, with another $1,146, How to Build a Girl. That is in 3 theaters and is in its third week of distribution.
$68,656 total.
In its opening week, we got The Trip to Greece made $1,110.
Good opening.
That is up to... that was opening week. Never mind.
That was opening week. Rejoining the top 5, The True History of the Kelly Gang made $324 this week. Total of $33,273.
Okay.
And finishing out the top 5, The Burnt Orange Heresy is still hanging on with $15 made this week.
$15. It was down 72% this week.
It has made a total of $39,848.
It's on one drive-in theater. So congrats.
And 3 people went to it.
Probably all in the same car, too.
If anybody's interested, this weekend at the Starlight Drive-In, the double feature is Grease and Footloose.
Oh,
you almost had me if you would have said Grease and Grease 2.
At the other drive-in, because that one...
I sure hope it's the new Footloose, just to piss everybody off.
The remake from a couple years back.
Yes.
I forgot all about that. Nice pull, Jeff. Or Jim. The other drive-in theater, because Cincinnati has 2 drive-in theaters, the other one has Indiana Jones. I'm sorry, Jeff. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Thank you.
And Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade going. And the best part is I follow them on Facebook, and again, the reason why people are idiots on social media. People were bitching because the drive-in theater wasn't releasing any new movies to go see.
The studio has to release the new movies.
They're like, why aren't you getting any new movies? And people are like, yeah, you're only showing classics. And they had to respond with, there are no movies coming out.
We just didn't like the movies that were being released, so we thought we'd go with this one that everyone can watch at home anyway.
I'm like, I hate
Okay, Brian, maybe you can take your idea of the new shirts you want for work and have it for Hobie, where it just says, Hobie, I hate people.
We love our listeners. Our listeners aren't dumb, so that helps. But, and I'm like, actually, that would be kind of cool seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark on the big screen again. I think that's kind of a fun idea. So, but yes.
Are we going?
I don't know.
Are we
about
going, Jason?
I don't know about that.
It's a PG movie. You can bring your family.
My oldest has seen Raiders. Has seen all of them. All the.
Well, I'm saying it's good enough for your youngest even. It's only PG.
He would be asleep. I think he would be asleep. So,
then wake him.
Well, wake him up. Jeff, give me some top 5 music.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, let's go top 5. Woo.
Top 5.
Top 5. Top 5 this week from Randall Holt. Top 5 actors from the 1980s. So, anybody, Blake, you want to go first? You're the oldest here. Why don't you go first? You remember the 80s better than all of us.
Sure.
Okay, do it.
Rockapella?
Let me see. I have 5 names. You want me to read from top to bottom or bottom to top?
Bottom to top.
Bottom to top. Anthony Michael Hall.
All right.
Okay.
From Vacation. Let's
16
see.
Candles.
Candles. Weird Science. Breakfast Club. Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Out of Bounds and Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be
Correct.
Good was so good.
And then 1990 came, and then his career ended.
He was in The Dark Knight.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was in. When did Edward Scissorhands come out?
1990.
Oh, okay. That's when it ended.
see, that's what it happened. That's what happened.
Brian, what's your number 5?
Number 5, Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was Flatliners 80s?
Oh, well, I wanted to
Lost
guess
Boys.
90 on that, but yeah, Lost Boys.
Yeah,
That might have been
Boys put
89.
him on the map.
Flatliners was 90,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
but I mean, Lost Boys and
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What else? What do you got, Jeff?
My number 5, I have Harrison Ford.
He's my number 3. Number 3.
He was the first name I wrote down.
Is that your number 1?
Going by this list, yes.
Okay. Why is he number 1 for you, or number 5 for you, Jeff?
Well, Indiana Jones and Han Solo. I think
Okay.
that's enough right there.
Okay, I was just asking. Witness? How about Witness?
And, oh yeah, Witness. He was good in Witness, and I'm sorry, my favorite
in
movie
the,
that he
the
did
90s,
was-
he did the Jack Ryan movie, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm talking 80s, and I didn't even
Yeah,
care. for
80s
those.
are good stuff.
But Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, yeah.
Which version?
Well, the
What?
director's cut. The
80s.
director's cut's always better.
Okay.
The Rick Snyder cut.
Jim, what's your number 5?
My number 5, I had to Hobie this one
Okay.
because they both have the same first name. Corey
Good enough.
Feldman and Corey Haim.
Ooh.
And Corey
Corey-
Hart.
Corey Feldman started with the Fox and the Hound, doing the voice of that. And
I'm a hound dog.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and then they did them. He actually did the one after that too. Goonies, Stand By Me, Lost Boys, License to Drive, The Burbs,
License to
Dream a Little
Drive.
Dream.
License to Drive was the accumulation of the Coreys.
Yep.
Yes. And then Corey Haim with Firstborn, Silver Bullet, Lucas, The Lost Boy, Watchers, License to Drive, and Dream a Little Dream. So,
I didn't realize he was the firstborn. I suppose he was
Yes.
the secondborn.
yes.
Okay. Suppose I didn't know who he was at that time.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true. You have to. You can't name one or without the other. You have to have them both.
The Corey's half team put together. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Simpsons had the Corey's magazine that Lisa
Yeah.
subscribed to.
Brian, I heard somebody knock at your door or moving. Is that COVID? Is COVID back at your door?
No,
Okay. Just making
No.
sure. Just making sure.
just the dogs roughhousing.
Okay. Number 5 for me is a guy that had he wasn't a lot of main characters, but he was always a good side character that was always funny. He did star in a couple, but Andrew McCarthy. Loved Andrew McCarthy back in the 80s. Pretty in Pink, Mannequin,
Yeah.
St. Elmo's Fire, and one of my favorites is, I still laugh at it because it's
Weekend
so
at
stupid.
Bernie's.
Yep, Weekend at Bernie's. So stupid, but it was hilarious.
It's not as good as Mannequin, though.
He was also in Fresh
That's right, he was a
Horses.
mannequin.
Oh, Fresh Horses. It was filmed here in town.
Yes, it was.
such a big hit.
Let's see here.
Yeah, don't they have a statue to Andrew McCarthy down here in town?
They probably should.
My number 4 is one of my favorite character actors. He was everywhere in the 80s and even someone in the 90s. Tom Berenger. Love Tom Berenger.
He He's my number 4.
Is he?
Yeah, Rhapsody, Platoon, and Major League were his big releases in the 80s.
Big Chill. Don't forget the Big Chill.
The Big Chill in like 83 or early.
He didn't exist. He didn't exist to me until Platoon.
Well, yeah, but that was 88, so it's still the 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
And then 89 with Major League.
Major League, that's true.
Is
those two
is he
enough?
still putting out Sniper sequels?
I didn't think anybody else was going to have Tom Berenger on their list.
Jim, what were you going to say?
I said Russell's Rhapsody was a reason to put him on there, too.
I was just going to get to that. That was a funny show. That was a 1985 Rustler's Rhapsody. I'll be honest, looking at his movies, he was in Smoking Aces 2. Oh, God. If you look at his filmography, you could put him as top 5 favorite in the 1990s, too. 1990s actually might have been better for him, money-wise, than 1980s even.
Money-wise, but not quality-wise. Come on.
Sliver. He was in Sliver in 1993, Jeff.
You're helping my argument.
Yeah. You're not going to find any movies he's better in than Platoon or Major League.
Major League 2.
Major League 2.
And that was in the 90s, so that doesn't count.
Yes.
Back to the minors. Just to let you know, Brian, you asked the Sniper question. He was in Sniper in 1993. 2002, Sniper 2. 9 years later, 2004, Sniper 3. He was not in Sniper Reloaded in 2011. Ooh. But in 2014, he was in Sniper: Legacy.
Nice.
Sniper Legacy.
That is impressive. So, good for you.
Wow, that's a...
And what they... on the
and
first
he's
movie
in Sniper Assassin's End.
What?
And then Tom Berenger, if you go like the first thumbnail skit, is Inception. Jeff's favorite movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, but that's not from the 80s.
No.
In all fairness, though, Sniper Reloaded did have Billy Zane. That's a tough call. Which one do you take, Berenger or Billy Zane?
Slam evil.
That's right. I'm the Phantom, bitch. Let's see. Jim, what's your number 4?
You were talking about, like, character actors and not main roles, but you picked a guy who... both of guys were main stars. Like, this character actor is great from the 80s. Paul Gleason.
Oh.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Trading Spaces. Die Hard. Johnny Be Good. He was in virtually every 80s drama on television for 1 or 2 episodes. And best of all, he was in Ewoks Battle for Endor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hey, Jim.
Man, somebody put effort into their top 5.
Hey, Jim. You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. We got Jeff, number 4. Oh, Tom Berenger.
Tom Berenger.
Brian, number 4.
Number 4, John Cusack.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
The 80s were great for John.
Say anything.
Yeah.
Say anything.
True.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, you think about it. He did have a lot more. I didn't put him on my list because I knew everybody else would. No, actually, because you knew, I pretty much knew you guys. You guys probably knew I would put him on my list, so I did not put him on my list.
So who's your number 4?
The Sure Thing. Don't forget The Sure Thing.
That was a good movie.
He was in that. Yep.
Yeah.
16 Candles.
16 Candles.
Thing, Better Off Dead. The Journey of Maddie Gann.
One Crazy Summer, was that in the 80s?
Yep. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Summer.
Yep.
Identity.
Broadcast News. 8 Men Out.
Broadcast.
8 Men Out was in the 80s? Yeah.
Say Anything, yeah.
Broadcast.
Fat Man and Little Boy.
Broadcast News is one of those movies that got like decent reviews when it came out. People were talking about, but no one ever mentions it. Like, it's one of those movies from the 80s that no one really mentions anymore. I don't know if it doesn't hold up.
It was big the year it came out, and then everyone forgot about it.
Kind of like Out of Africa. Ugh. God. The English Patient of the 1980s. Ugh. Blake, what is your number 4?
Number 4 on this list, since I'm reading from the bottom up, was 80s were very kind to Emilio Estevez.
They were.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good one. I don't have a problem with that. Name me some movies from him.
At the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, Breakfast Club.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yep, St. Elmo's.
The Outsiders.
Yeah.
Repo Man.
Was Men at Work in the 80s, or was that after?
I think that was in the 90s.
That was the 90s. It was
That-
90s.
Mighty
That's
Ducks
the thing.
was in the 90s too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Men at Work with
Maximum
Charlie Sheen.
Overdrive.
Overdrive.
Oh, yeah. We made you!
Young Guns.
I'll make you famous.
Oh, how did we forget Young Guns?
Men at Work and Young Guns 2 were both in 1990.
Repo Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, he was in Loaded Weapon. God, I forgot about that. Oh, my God, that was Samuel L. Jackson in it with him? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Another movie of his
80s
that I
were
really
fun.
love
80s were
is
very kind
Judgment
to
Night.
Emilio.
You know what, Brian? I agree. Judgment Night was a fun movie. That was a good movie.
It was really good.
Blake, what is your number 3?
Yeah, I remember Judgment Night. Yeah. Number 3, the quintessential TV and movie Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
He was in one good movie.
Secret of My Success. Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf. Love it.
Teen Wolf.
I love that movie.
You really?
Yeah.
Really?
Me and Eric, I love it.
It's not as good as Teen Wolf 2.
Well,
Casualties of War, was he in that one too?
yep.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Is that Sean Penn?
I believe so, yes.
Let's see here.
And Family Ties, of course.
Of course.
A very special episode of Family Ties.
Did he take speed pills in that one episode?
I'm so,
He wasn't Jesse Spano.
I'm so excited.
No, Jesse was taking caffeine pills. He actually took speed.
Oh. Brian, what's your number 3?
Number 3, Michelle Pfeiffer.
No! That's my number 1.
Oh,
Dare
no.
you to ruin my number 1 so early?
Anytime you hear overrated 1980s actors, just know that Jeff's going to put them on the list. It's fine.
We don't. It's not an overrated.
Ugh.
It's the best actor from the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous Baker Boys.
Yeah. Grease 2.
Scarface.
Married to the Scarface.
Dangerous Liaison.
Dangerous Liaison.
Were you going to say Married to the Mob? Oh, God, that was awful.
She was in it.
Well, yeah. Doesn't mean it's good.
Witches of Eastwick.
She was good in Dangerous Minds.
Batman.
Grease 2.
Go, Grease Lightning. Go, Grease
No.
Lightning.
That's from Grease 1.
I know.
That was the 70s without Michelle Pfeiffer.
Tequila Sunrise.
Tequila Sunrise. Witches of Eastwick. Did you mention that, Jeff?
Mention that.
Let's see here. She was in The Prince of Egypt. Oh, that was 1998. My bad. Sorry.
And that was a voice, right? That was a.
Yeah. So I was just trying to see what she's done. She hasn't done much. Like she takes time off, which is fine, but it's just kind of interesting. Like her career is very sporadic. Like she does like 4 movies and then she's off for like 5 years, 6 years. She was on Amazon Women on the Moon.
Well, yeah, but
I didn't even know
movies
that.
she's done are Marvel movies, so she doesn't need to work.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't blame her at all. I was just kind of interesting her up and down movie career. Jim, what's your number 3?
My number 3, let's go with Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller himself.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
War Games, Lady Hawk, Project X, Biloxi Blues, Glory, Family Business.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Michelle Pfeiffer with Lady Hawk.
Yeah, Lady
No.
Hawk. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Jim. Jeff, what was your number 3?
My number 3, well, we mentioned several movies like War Games and The Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire. Ali Sheedy.
Good one.
Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Johnny Five is alive.
She was in Short Circuit.
She was the main human in Short Circuit.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember a lot of it. I haven't seen it in ages.
Well, I suppose the female, was it Gutenberg was the main guy, but yeah, Ali Sheedy is my number 3.
My number 3 was Harrison Ford. That Blake, I think, had at number 5 on his list. My number 2 is John Candy. And not all of his stuff was quality, but he was funny, and he tried to make everything work. And growing up, I really loved John Candy, and I wish he would get more of his due now. But a lot of people, don't really remember him because it's been so long. But Uncle Buck.
We don't remember.
Wow, everybody remembers that.
Vacation?
What's that, Jim?
Yeah, Vacation. His big role in Vacation. How did I not remember him?
Yeah, that is true.
Sorry, folks. Park's closed. Moose Outside should have told you.
Wait, Uncle Buck, Great Outdoors, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Spaceballs, Summer Rental, Brewster's Millions, Splash. Come on.
Stripes.
He was what?
So good.
Stripes.
Uncle
Yeah,
Buck.
it was fun. He was 8. Yeah, pretty much his career was the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Who's Harry Crumb?
That's
Don't
very
forget that.
good. What's that?
Who's Harry Crumb?
I tried to forget about it, but you keep reminding me.
Yeah, what year did he pass away?
I can give me 1 second here. I can tell you right now.
98.
94. 94.
Oh, that early.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He died in Durango, Mexico. Huh.
Yeah, they were filming Wagons East?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Not his last movie, though. Canadian Bacon was his last movie, 1995. So
That's because it was released later. I like Canadian Bacon, even if it was directed by, what's his name?
And not that Michael Moore.
Yeah, thank you.
And not even, not that he had great movies in the 90s, but he still worked up until his death. I mean, he also did Little Shop of Horrors in 1986. Little Shop of Horrors. But, I mean, if you look at his, 90 in the 90s, even real quick here, he had Cool Runnings, Home Alone, let's see, what else? He had Wagons East, Canadian Bacon, Nothing But Trouble, Only the Lonely.
Never mention that movie again.
Sorry. Delirious, Only the Lonely, The Rescuers Down Under, what else? JFK, Once Upon a Crime, which I thought was enjoyable back in the day.
Considering he didn't even make it to halfway point of the 90s, that's impressive, the number of things he did.
That's
in
what I
the 90s.
mean. Yeah.
He worked himself to death.
Now, if any of them were any good...
Jim, you did forget one movie from John Candy, Hot to Trot.
No, I left it off I left that one off and Who's Harry Crumb on purpose.
Didn't Hot to Trot come out the same time or pretty close to the same time as another talking horse movie? Wasn't there 2 talking horse movies around that same time? I thought
Hot to Trot, a talking horse movie?
Hot to Trot, and there was another one, I thought.
The horses talked in that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
See? So, okay. Let's see. Jim, what do you got for number 2?
Number 2, I will go with the Dread Pirate Roberts. There's only 2 roles in the 80s, but The Princess Bride is one of them, and it's so awesome that it has to be on this list. And he was also in Glory, the Carrie Elwes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
And Glory. Okay.
Jeff, I know we've talked about this before that my wife doesn't like Princess Bride, but my 6-year-old daughter, found it on Disney Plus and can't get enough of the movie. So
All right.
I was like, okay, it's not all forgotten. It's not all for a loss. What you got, Jeff, for number 2?
Well, speaking of Lady Hawk, I've got Rutger Hauer.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Lady Hawk, The Hitcher, Blade Runner, Nighthawks.
Nighthawks.
Rutger Hauer was great.
Surviving the Game?
Was that in the 80s?
Was that
in the
80s? Was that 90s? I loved Surviving the Game growing up.
90s.
So, okay, that's a good one. Brian, what do you got number 2?
Damn straight it was a good one.
Number 2, Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Costner was good then, wasn't he?
Give me
Yeah,
some.
it was.
Untouchables, Bull Durham, and Field of Dreams.
Okay.
One was Dancing with Wolves,
90.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he made it in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was filmed in the 80s. The acting was done in the 80s.
Yeah.
Correct.
What-
Yeah, but and then the 90s when you got to like Waterworld,
The
and the
Postman.
shitty
He started the 90s off pretty good with Dances with Wolves, Robin Hood, JFK, The Bodyguard, Wyatt
those are
Earp.
shitty movies.
They're better than Waterworld.
Yeah,
Are
it's
they,
just a
though?
great downhill.
Are they?
They are.
I mean, Waterworld is better than people give it credit for. I mean, it's not good, but it's not like one of the worst movies ever made.
No, that was The Postman.
Yeah.
But
He's
then
got-
he did bounce back with For Love of the Game, and he was really good in Hatfield and McCoy's.
Yeah.
10 Cup.
He was good in Heaven
Cup.
McCoy's,
Great
the
Tin
History
Cup.
Channel
Yeah,
series, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. It was good.
No Way Out.
His show right now.
Oh, yeah, No Way Out.
No Way Out
Yellowstone,
was
Brian?
good.
You're
Yeah,
talking about
that's
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
I
what
really
did.
like No Way Out. Although it reminds me of the one clip from Family Guy when Chris was like, I haven't been this confused since the end of No Way Out. And they show him exiting the theater, and he's like, I don't understand. How do they keep letting him make movies?
Blake, what's your number 2?
The number 2 on my list, underneath Harrison Ford, was at the top. Quintessential, man. You can't have the 80s without Bill Murray.
Yeah. I could see that. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had Caddyshack.
Yeah. That was a tough one for me.
started off.
Caddyshack and tons of B comedy movies.
Stripes.
Meatballs is in the 70s, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I
Yes,
think Meatballs was the 70s, yeah.
And,
Well, in fact, his acting in Caddyshack was in the 70s.
Oh, good
Right.
point.
he was in
Well, he still had the best Ghostbusters movie.
That's true.
That's not saying. He also had the worst Ghostbusters movie.
He had the 2.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2. I will take the remake over Ghostbusters 2.
He was in Scrooged. Scrooged was funny.
Scrooge was awesome.
Can't you just staple the antlers on the mouse's head? No, we can't do that.
His
Groundhog
brother
Day?
was moving Violations. Is that close enough?
I like Moving Violations. It wasn't good, but it was enjoyable.
John Murray was in that.
What year was Groundhog Day?
I thought that the 90s.
93, 94, something like that.
I really liked Quick Change with Randy Quaid when they were the bank robbers.
It was 93.
Was it 90? Okay. He was in Tootsie.
Yeah, he had like one scene at the very beginning. He was Dustin Hoffman's roommate.
Yeah, I remember that.
He might have done better in the 90s than the 80s even. I mean, in the 90s.
He did more in the 90s.
Yeah.
But again, Caddyshack was the best movie he's been in.
No, I agree. But
I think Caddyshack is the best movie that anyone was in Caddyshack was in.
Yeah, because in the 90s he had Groundhog Day. He had, where was it? Sorry, What About Bob? He had Kingpin.
What about Bob?
He had Kingpin.
Rush. That's when he starts doing the eccentric phase.
Yeah. Rushmore.
Rush. Well, then he comes back into vogue with what's the
Lost in Translation.
Wes Anderson.
Lost in Translation. Yeah.
The Royal Tenenbaums.
The Man Who Knew Too Little. Blake.
St. Vincent.
Oh yeah. What's your number one, Blake?
That was Harrison Ford.
Oh, okay.
I mean, top of the world there. Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Blade Runner. That was it.
Brian, what's your number one?
Number one, Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
I knew that was coming.
I don't think the sound of my eyes rolling is coming across as much as I would like it to.
Oh, Stallone. Is it just because of Rambo First Blood Part 2? When he gets the...
No. I mean, I like...
Rocky 4, Rocky 3.
So, let's see. You got
Cobra.
Nighthawks, Rocky 3, First Blood...
Cobra.
Over the top.
Rhinestone.
Rhinestone's good because it's got Dolly
Parton. Yeah. First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4, Cobra, Over the Top, Rambo 3, and Lock Up, which was filmed here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Tango and Cash to round out the 80s.
Tango and Cash wasn't bad. Him and Kurt Russell.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones that you listed make a good argument for me not to like Stallone.
Cobra is one of probably, besides Rocky and Rambo, that's my next favorite Stallone movie.
Oh, God.
You like Cobra over the top?
I mean, it's like it's 6 one way, half dozen the other, Jeff. You know what I mean?
I always liked the story of how, I forget what toy company it was, but they made the over-the-top action figures, and they really thought that was the next big thing because Stallone was so big at the time. And they had all these things, and they even had like the arm wrestling set so you could put your arms and arm wrestle your buddies. And but they actually had the action figures too, and
Did the action figure have a reversible hat?
Oh, I don't know. Is that when he's serious?
Is a backwards guy.
Speaking of which, I just ordered his hat that he wears and over the top off eBay. And I just picked up this little gem the other day.
What is that? A Rambo
thermos.
I'm picking out a thermos for you.
Lunchbox not included.
I'm still looking for the lunchbox.
I found the thermoses are harder to find than the lunchboxes.
I know. And I paid a cool $10 for that.
I think one of my brothers has Rambo the Commodore 64 C game if you would like to buy it off him.
I mean, I'll take it if he wants to give it to me.
The only thing I remember about it literally took 10 minutes to load the game, and it was so bad. It was awful. It was
only 10 minutes.
It was a long. Back then, it was even long for a Commodore 64 game. How long it loaded. Let's see, Jeff. What do you got for your number one?
That was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Okay, Jim. What's your number one?
I had a tough decision between two people.
Okay.
So you picked them both?
Yeah. So they're both icons of the 80s and of movies in general. The first one is Chevy Chase. Yep. You have a Vacation series with those movies. Fletch, Fletch 2, Caddyshack, Funny Farm, The Three Amigos, Spies Like Us, Seems Like Old Times. So I thought he had to be included in here, even though he's not my favorite. But then the number one
he did in the decade.
Yeah, the number one actor from the 80s. When you think you need an 80s actor and you have to get him for your movie, it's C. Thomas Howell.
Gleaming the Cube.
What?
He was in Gleaming the Cube?
Gleaming the Cube.
He wasn't in Gleaming the Cube. That was Christian Slater.
That's Slater.
You sure?
Yes. C. Thomas Howell is Outsiders,
Outsiders.
Red Dawn. Soul Man, and then
Soul Man.
1990, maybe his finest piece of work, Side Out.
Now that was 1990,
That was 1990.
but he did the acting in '89.
But the acting
Yeah.
was in 89. That's right.
Tank, wasn't he in Tank?
Yeah.
A tank. That was so bad. But Jim, I apologize. That was Christian. I my bad. I was getting that was my bad. Sorry.
Hey, Eddie Murphy wasn't on anybody's list.
Hey, I'm not done yet.
About it.
Oh,
Okay, Jason, what's your number one?
Not Eddie Murphy.
Not Eddie Murphy.
Tom Hanks. I had Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Oh,
Oh.
he was much better after the 80s. That's why I couldn't put him on my list.
I can see that argument.
After Bachelor Party, it was all downhill.
You know what? Bachelor.
The Man with One Red Shoe.
Big.
Flash.
Actually, the Bachelor Party is one of the reasons why he's top of my list. I love Bachelor Party. I crack up at that every
movie's
time.
Classic, man. It's
The
a
Money
classic.
Pit.
Money Pit, Splash. Let's see here, Turner and Hooch, and the other one that made me laugh that I started watching the other night, The Burbs. I love The Burbs.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that.
Remember watching Bosom Buddies?
And Bosom Bodies from the 80s.
Ah,
Family Ties.
Red
Turn
A
on
Rover.
very
Uncle
special
Ned?
episode of Family Ties. Yeah.
Volunteers.
Where Uncle, what's his name, was an alcoholic.
Uncle Ned.
Uncle Ned.
And I agree with you, Jim. He did have a hell of a career after the 80s, but I think it's because...
Yeah, when he won back-to-back Academy Awards. And
Yeah. I mean, I think the Bachelor Party movie and The Burbs pretty much sealed the deal. Those are some of my favorite comedies. I don't know why. It's just... And they're
Flash.
not even the greatest, greatest movies, but for some reason they make me crack up every single time. And The Burbs is not a good film, but it's so great. I just love it with every Bruce Dern, Carrie Fisher. It's just hilarious. Red Rover, send Ray over. I think Corey Feldman's in it, or Corey Haim, one of them is in it too.
Corey Feldman.
Is it Feldman?
One of the 40s.
If you would have listened to what I said, Corey Feldman, he was in The Burbs.
Yep.
Anyways, anybody have any honorable mentions?
I had Kevin Bacon and Kurt Russell.
I had Tom Hulse.
Amadeus.
Shit, I forgot the guy's name. Dustin Hoffman, that's his name. And somebody who was really huge in the 80s, but I didn't particularly care for his 80s stuff as much as his later work, is Rob Lowe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had Dan Aykroyd as an honorable mention. He did Blues Brothers, Ghostbusters, and Trading Places.
Oh yeah, these were no good.
Dan Aykroyd did a great job of being somebody's second banana.
And hell, he was even in Driving Miss Daisy.
Daisy.
Yeah. Spies Like Us.
Oh.
Yeah. Great
We didn't mention
Outdoors.
that was Chevy Chase, did we? So.
He was the
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you?
He was the voice
Yep.
of. He was the voice of Yogi Bear in 2010. Oh.
Hey, boo boo.
He was also in The Great Outdoors.
Yeah, that's one of my least favorite Candy movies. Blake, did you have any honorable mentions?
Nah.
Eddie Murphy.
Do. Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
We had some listener feedback on this one. Kevin at Cincy Explorer, he had Chevy Chase, Sigourney Weaver, Matthew Broderick, Michael J. Fox, and the Brat Pack. He hobied it.
Michael J. Fox.
Fox.
Brian, take a drink.
I'm all out.
Brian Auer.
Ow.
He had Matthew Broderick because of War Games, Lady Hawk and Ferris, Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks, not even in his 90s prime, but his comedy roots, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before The Rock or Bay, there was Arnold, cue the explosions. Remember when I said I would kill you last?
That's right, Merrick. You said that. You said you'd do that.
I lied. He ripped out a front seat of a car.
Well, yeah, he had to fit.
Harrison Ford, he had Han and Indy. Enough said. Big Dev. He had the Coreys. Robert Downey Jr. Val Kilmer. I guess Top Secret was a big one for him. The Brat Pack, he hobied that shit. And John Cusack, he's always number one in my heart. Randall, who came up with the top 5 this week. He had John Candy, Kurt Russell. Here you go, Blake. Eddie Murphy is number 3.
There you go.
Harrison Ford and Michael Douglas. Honorable mention was Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and the Brat Pack. And I think we had one more. That's impressive, though. Of all of these people, we're up to 10 or 11 right now, and only one person had Murphy on it. Let's see here. Pam.
What race?
Sister.
Cousin Pam.
Cousin Pam had River Phoenix, Rob Lowe, C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze, and Kiefer Sutherland.
Sam really liked the Curtis brothers.
Let's see.
All 3.
Niecy. Let's see here. She had Patrick Swayze, because he's iconic. Tom Hanks, just for big. The Brat Pack. She hobied it. Robert Downey Jr. and number 1, Jack Nicholson. Let's see here. And Chris Richardson. Good day, mate.
He did win an Oscar in the 80s.
Chris had John Candy, Al Pacino, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bill Murray, and number 1, Eddie Murphy. So there you go. 2 people got Eddie Murphy on here. So there you go. Thanks for listening.
Did anybody have Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Forgot about that.
Good one.
Back to school, Addy Shack, yeah.
Burt Young.
We
How can I
failed.
forget Burt Young? The only person that made Rocky movies worthwhile.
And the one that we really dropped the ball on is William Zabka.
Oh. Yeah. Good one. That is a good one. Zapped. Oh, that's Willie Ames.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
You go with the Karate Kid, the Back to School,
Back to
European
school.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Just
Zapped.
played a villain, everything.
Real quick, I forgot. I was on our Facebook page just now. Look at the honorable mentions. History of Bad Ideas. Give us a like. Did you see that? Real quick, your Always Sunny in Philly got renewed for another season, and
15.
Yep, one of their first episodes in season 15 is about COVID.
Of course it is.
It's like good for them.
That's going to be at the fall or spring TV that's going to come back. Everybody's going to be doing it.
Well, they said fall TV this year on the regular networks is struggling because they don't have anything in production. So they said, and like we talked about, I think it was last week, about all the Canadian shows they're buying. So they're scrambling to fill this.
Go to New Zealand and start producing there.
Yeah. New Zealand doesn't want anybody. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, good point.
They barely like James Cameron. Nikki, finish Avatar 2. Stop it. Let's see here. Bad idea of the week. Number 37, Avatar 2. There you go.
As in, the last thought that entered my head.
Yes. Did we have titles for the show this week?
Let's see. I have the Intern Bump. Let's see. I had that. Then I had this is our worst episode ever. The Do-It-Yourself section. And Hobie, the human trafficking podcast.
Nope.
Yeah, I would say no to that.
Nope.
I like Kobe, the human trafficking podcast.
It is funny.
I also
but no.
had the Intern Bump, and I had Side Stage Stripper.
Jim, anything?
I didn't have anything.
Okay. I had cannibalistic rats, suspended again, and I think that was it. That was all I had. So, I like the intern bump. You know, we'll give Brian credit before he gets fired as an intern. Again, if you're interested in becoming the intern, please let us know on Twitter at the Bad Ideas Podcast, or message us.
Yeah, tweet it to Jason because I can't get it.
I thought you're supposed to tweet it to Graphic Novice. I mean, you
Or email to internhackney@graphicnovice. That's a good one. But any of those, if you're interested, let us know. We pay in IOUs. You know what?
I still haven't gotten any of
Good
those.
as cash. Just as good as cash.
Oh, we gave you virtual IOUs.
Oh, okay.
It's
It's
crypto.
kind of like the Bitcoin.
Those are
of
worth.
Thanks, Blake.
Bitcoin of Hobie IOUs.
I was just going to tell you Bitcoins. Bitcoins were also found on Oak Island last week. Did you see that? Very interesting.
That would be impressive. What exactly does a Bitcoin look like?
This Bitcoin has been here since 2018. Woo! So everyone, thanks for listening. And Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history. It's not so bad, there's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. The history of bad ideas. Podcast.
You are listening to a Hobie.